What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? This is Reem Bean, and I think it is finally time we go over my awesome Game Gear collection. I pulled out some of the cool things from the collection, as well as we're going to go through all the games, check them out, maybe talk a little bit about the cool ones. But let's get started. I don't want this to be too drawn out, and if I can, I'm going to try to fit in my Game Boy collection as well. That'd be GBA, Game Boy Color, again, original, all that. But first of all, the first thing I want to talk about with my Game Gear collection, if you are not into Game Gear collecting, get into it. There's a slew of awesome games out there, and if your main qualm with it is the size of the screen, the quality of it, then buy one of these. I bought this when it came out. This is the, now it will not work unless you got the Retron 5, obviously, but if you do have the Retron 5, get this. It's $59.99. 3-in-1 adapter. This allows you to play Game Gear games on your screen, and they look absolutely beautiful. But get that, and you can also play Sega Master System, as well as it has a slot for the cards. Get that. Very cool, very awesome. Now, you know that I've done a mod to actually, consoleize a Game Gear to the TV, but it does not look nearly as good as something like that. But anyways, let's keep going on. I'm going to go through some of the cooler stuff. This is what a typical box for the Game Gear would look like. This is complete. It's got all the inserts and everything. I don't want to go through all that and show everything, but the box is in pretty good condition. I'm happy with that. If you don't know by now, in all my videos I always talk about how awesome Game Gear is. Game Gear really is a very cool system. I just had a lot of setbacks. That's one item right there I do not have, which is a TV tuner. But there's the box. Oh, damn. There might be the box. This is completely refurbished by me. Glass screen, fully new capacitors. This is the more obscure blue version of the Game Gear. Except I actually don't think that port's supposed to have a black cover. I think it's supposed to be a blue cover, which I don't have. It's got the battery covers. This thing works phenomenally. Like I said, I changed the capacitors out, put the glass screen on there. This thing is beautiful. I traded this for a bunch of Game Gears. The guy had like 4 or 5 Game Gears, including this one. He says, "Hey, just refurbish one and give it back to me, and you can keep all of them." This is one of them. This is one that I kept. A little bit more harder to find version. All right. This, just another accessory. This is the battery pack that would plug into a Game Gear, and then this would actually screw to the back of it. Just because the battery life on a Game Gear is very short. It didn't give you but maybe, it was like 2 or 3 hours. It took 6 AA batteries too, which is one of the downsides, but in order to have that nice bright color screen, it was going to drain some batteries. One of the well, actually I got 2 more accessories. This is, I'm proud of my Game Genie collection. This is a little bit more of, I ain't gonna say harder to find, but just one you don't typically see, is the Game Gear version of the Sega, or Game Genie version of the Sega Game Gear. Also has the book with it, which just like the Game Boy had a little packet here with, you can open it up and had a little book inside. You never find them with the book, but this allows you to put little codes in for to manipulate the game, much like an old-fashioned mod. Very cool. I think I have just about every Game Genie ever made. I don't think I'm missing any. I might do a video on that, kind of go over all of them. Now this is a little bit more obscure. You never see these. I cannot remember where I got this, but this is the Master Gear Converter. What this did is you plugged it into the back of a Game Gear, and then you can play Master System games on your Game Gear, which was super awesome. I mean, that is just very cool. Game Boy, no way they could match anything like that. But you'd never find these. These are climbing up in price, but you put that in the back of your Game Gear, you see it's shaped like a Game Gear game. Put Master System games in there, it would play perfectly on your Game Gear. Very, very cool. Obscure though, you never find those. Alright, but let's start diving into some of these games. Now, I have cases, the plastic cases for almost all my games. I'm going to try to break in through to them real quick. If they become troublesome to keep opening for these videos, or for this video, I'm just going to go cycling through them. They're in no specific order. I did save some of the better ones for last, but we're going to start going through. First one we got here is XMen, SpiderMan XMen. There's a lot of SpiderMan, or I'm sorry, there's a few XMen games on the Game Gear, this being one of them. I'm just going to start setting these down. There's going to be, I don't know how many games I got. I think maybe 100 or so. I would love to go for a complete set, but it's really hard to collect for the Game Gear just because can't ever remember what the hell I have, so I never buy them. Namco Pac-Man. If you see any Game Gear games that you might have that I don't, let me know. I'm always interested in buying some. Alright, we got, oh, this is on every damn system, Jurassic Park. Oh, this is a terrible game. I played this. I didn't like it. Surf Ninjas. Not that good. There's a lot of these games I've never played that I'm actually experiencing for the first time on the Retron 5. It just looks so gorgeous to play on that thing. Here we go. There's a lot of casino games too. This is Poker Face Paul's Blackjack, And I actually got rid of one just because it was a little bit more high-end, and this is back when I kind of needed more of the money. It was Solitaire, a fun pack. Solitaire, I think I sold it for like 50 bucks. Very hard to find. Let's see, we got the Incredible Crash Dummies. Not that great of a game, but the Game Gear games had really cool cover art too. I think a lot better than the Game Boys did. We got Jeopardy. Better clothes, I ain't coming back to deal with you. Some of these you'll see that aren't in cases, but you can't. I got cases for probably 95% of these games. Clutch Hitter. A very, very beat up version of World Series Baseball. And I think I threw that in there because I did not know if I had this as a double, which hopefully I'll remember when we cycle through these if I come across it. There was a bunch of little ports too. We got Super Space Invaders for the Game Gear. PGA Tour Golf 2. We got Cutthroat Island. And this is another game that's ported on all the systems. It actually plays surprisingly well on the Game Gear. Still tough as shit though, the Lion King. Tom and Jerry, the movie. And of course you got this just on every system, which is a classic though, NBA Jam. Get that fire up, people. This is another one that's on a lot of systems. Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, I'm sorry. I think I got that for the Sega CD, Super Nintendo's, Genesis, Game Gear. I don't know if they made one for the Game Boy. This is a very common Game Gear game. You will find this everywhere. G-Lock Air Battle. Alright, let's keep going through them. This is a very fun game. This is not bad at all to keep in your collection. Chuck Rock. Here's another one that's ported to a lot of them. Aladdin. We got Home Alone. Holy cow. It's a shit game. Alright, we got the U.S. Gold Presents Olympic Gold. We got Disney's Bonkers Wax Up. This is actually not a terrible game right here. I actually enjoyed it. James Bond 2, codename Robo Cod. I almost said Robocock. Alright, here's more of those poker style games. This is Solitaire. Solitaire poker, nothing special. This is another very fun game. If you're only going to collect a few of the games, this is a good one. Chase HQ. There wasn't that many racing games for the Game Gear, but this was one of them. It's very good. Actually, it's not bad. You got to give the Game Gear credit. It's not the most extremely powerful system, but for at its time it was great. Here is simply SpiderMan. Ooh, that is crappy quality SpiderMan. Actually, I got number one that I'm selling online. I think I'll swap that out for an upgrade. Alright, we got the classic Mortal Kombat, and I think I have the second one. The rare one is Mortal Kombat 3. It is very expensive for whatever reason. Maybe just like a limited run. Here is XMen, I apologize. Alright, we got Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. We have Indiana Jones and the Last Crusaders. I haven't played that, I might try that out. Here's another one of the racing games you don't often see just because there's not that too many of them. Formula 1. Batman Forever. And let me know in the comments what your favorite Game Gear game is. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback for all these videos I've been doing, and I appreciate that. This channel is growing and it is super awesome. But yeah, let me know what you got going on. This looks like it's got some weed resin on there. No, I don't smoke no more, but it just looks like it. Check that out. Pack Attack, another Pac-Man game. But I have to smell it just to make sure. I don't know where the hell I got that from. Here's a cool one, just cool for the art. The Addams Family. I don't believe I've played that one. I might try that out. Alright, we got, I got a slew of sports games in here. Here's Batter Up. Ooh, come on, focus. This one, I like this cover art. Garfield Caught in the Act. Garfield's a big old fat head there. Alright. Here is yet another Spider-Man game. This is Spider-Man Return of the Sinister Six. We have Tesserae? How do you pronounce that? Tesserae? Huh. I've not played that one. Yep, here is Mortal Kombat 2 that I had, so I got that one. Now I don't have the third one. Here is a game that you will see all the time if you find Game Gears out in the wild. It's usually with it. Mortal Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Another very common game. Alright, we got Phantom 2040. I have not played that actually. That looks cool as hell. I'll have to try that out. Tailspin for the Game Gear. It does not look that good if you're playing it on a handheld. The only way to play that thing would be on the Retron 5. It looks terrible on a handheld. It's hard to distinguish. Alright, we got the 5-in-1 Fun Pack. Oh, now I see a double. This is just another Space Invader. So actually what I'm going to do is take the case, leave that, and set this off to the side. Here's another fun little game, little puzzle game with Lemmings. I don't know why I took it out of the case, but let me put that back in. That's a cool game. Alright, probably one of the best games you'll ever find for any system. Of course, everybody jokes about this. Shaq Fu. Yes, they made it for the Game Gear. Yes, it's just as shitty. We have Columns. There's another puzzle game that was a boxing game, I believe, for the Game Gear. For one of them, at least. Here is, and you'll notice a theme with a lot of Game Gear games. The Incredible Hulk. A lot of action heroes. All the comic book hero games. Let's see. NFL 95. We got GP Ryder. That's another racing game, but motorcycle racing. Here's a cool one. Stargate. Very cool. Here is Tasmania, another common game. You don't see it as often as others, but that's fairly common. I find that one a lot. Let's see. Here's a Tengen game. PGA Tour Golf. Let's see. We're getting there. We got George Foreman's KO Boxing. Open up. Judge Dredd. Arch Rivals. Here's a very fun game no matter what port you're playing. Primal Rage. I think I got that one sealed actually too for the Game Gear. I like collecting my sealed Game Gear games. You should know that. Star Trek: The Next Generation. Not too many Star Trek games for handheld, so that's cool to have that one. Super Battle Tank, which is a very common game. Here's another common sports game, which is Clutch Hitter. Actually, did I pull Clutch Hitter out in the beginning? Holy shit, I may have. I'm going to put that to the side so I can hopefully remember to check that out. Alright, here's a very cool one you don't typically see. Ninja Gaiden for the Game Gear. Here is Side Pocket Pool game for the Game Gear. Here is yet another X-Men game, which is X-Men Games Masters Legacy. We got another common game here, which is Battleship. Here is one you don't typically find, but whenever you do find, definitely pick this one up. This is cool. Deep Duck Trouble. Kind of like DuckTales, not necessarily, but it's cool to find anything duck related, anything wild. And some of the cooler ones that I save off to the side, let me pick up here. And these aren't like crazy high end. And I just noticed that there's a game that I got bundled that I didn't have in the system, which was Super Columns, which I do have bundled with another game. I'm going to take that out to keep that. But let's go through some of these. These are some cool games here. We'll go through, obviously, the classic series. You got the original Sonic. We got... This is the most common game you will find with a Game Gear, which is Sonic 2. The Sonic games actually play very well on the Game Gear. That said, they were a little hard because they went real fast and you hit a lot of things sometimes, but they were very fun. We got Sonic the Hedgehog with Chaos here. We got Sonic Triple Trouble, a little bit more uncommon. We have Sonic Drift 2, which is a racing game, kind of like Mario Kart. Very cool. Let's see, we have Bust-A-Move, which I love Bust-A-Move. My wife's a big fan of Bust-A-Move. Very cool games. We have Slider, another cool one to have. Desert Speed Trap, Road Runner, Wile E. Coyote. And these aren't high-end games, but they have a big draw to my heart. These are Ecco the Dolphin games. This is Ecco the Dolphin and Ecco the Dolphin Tides of Time. I love these games. They're not the greatest, but this is some of the first handheld games that I played were Ecco. Just something close to me. Let's see, we have Shinobi, which is not as common for the Game Gear. This is one everybody recommends if you like shmups. This is not a bad game. Graphically, it's very unsuperior, I think, to a lot of games, but it's not bad at all. It's just Hayley Wars. There's a bunch of different versions out there because the Game Gear is not region locked, so you'll see different cover arts for all sorts of games. Let's see. Then we got the final 3 games. They made this port for the Game Gear, which was pretty good. Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse. Not expensive. It's like 10 or 15 bucks. Pick that up. It's fun if you don't have it for the Sega Genesis. And then following that, we got Legends of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse. And actually, that case, I'm going to go for that one right there. Alright, and then the final game, which this is just the last Game Gear game that I beat that was really, really, really fun. Get this game. I found this at the flea market for $1. It's a little bit more high. It's like maybe somewhere like $15, $20 game. But if you are a fan of Castlevania, get this game. Masters of Darkness. This is just a Castlevania clone from hell. Except it is super awesome, very cool. There's guns in that game, man. This is cool. I highly doubt you're going to beat that game on the Game Gear handheld. This is very hard. I beat that on the Retron 5. This is big, beautiful. That is a game to get. But that's it, people. That's all the Game Gear games that I got. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know what y'all want to see next. You've seen my game room. If there's other game systems you want to see me go over, 3DO, GameCube, all that. We'll do it, and I actually do think I'm going to do that Game Boy video after I close this one out, so look forward to that if you haven't seen it yet, but as always, thank you so much for watching.